Good morning. I just started my 3-mile run. I'm already pretty winded. That's all right. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go 1.5 out and 1.5 back. Check if you're recording. Oh yeah. All right. So this morning I decided to get a little more of a handheld, non-handheld setup. I think this really helps. So what I decided on was an iPhone 10 on a chesty mount. So going through like the learning process, I got the adapter to put the selfie mount onto a GoPro mount, and I did that on a head strap, but then I decided that was too wobbly. It's probably still a little bit wobbly right now, or a lot wobbly, but this is a lot better because your chest is more stable than your head. Well, your head is stable, but there's not a lot of room to grab around on your head, though your head is much better POV, point of view, because that's where you're looking at. That's where I'm looking at. So I went from head mount to strap to a chest mount. The head mount and chest mount that I have are third party, so they're not quite the best in terms of comfort, but they definitely do their job. In terms of comfort, the plastic, there's no padding behind the plastic mount, so just like rubs your head or your chest in the wrong way, especially when you're moving while running. So then you have to do it yourself. So all I did was put a sock behind the mount. Obviously, I'm not going to do that in my head, but then I already decided that the mount on my head wasn't going to be stable enough. So, chesty mount. So this is a little bit unorthodox. I've never really seen anybody with a phone mounted on their chest. Probably because it's not the best. But I think looking back at this in the future, hi me in the future, you'll see all the improvements. So right now there's video because of the bounciness of running, and there is some stabilization in the iPhone 10 camera video recording. And previously, my GoPro Hero 4, that had no stabilization at all. So, even worse than this. But with the Hero 9 that I have, that I'm going to be using, it's going to be so much better with stabilization. So the video is gonna be great. The audio is fine. The audio can definitely be better. A wireless microphone setup would be pretty nice, actually. I would actually really appreciate that. So let's say you had a GoPro on, you put the media mod on, then you attach the wireless microphone receiver onto the media mod with the GoPro in it, and then you have the transmitter, which is the actual part you speak into, clipped on your shirt or like on your hat. The thing is that I don't want to lose that, and that's a $200 investment for that small of a thing. So when I have a lot of money in the future. Yeah, so that's my little process that I went through this morning. I was also trying to figure out what the level should be. So at the start of this run, it was pointed towards the ground because I thought I was getting a little bit too much of the sky, but it looks like the norm. Best practice would be to point the camera a little up. I mean, GoPros, you can point it down because the field of view is so wide for the most part. Point that down. But for the iPhone, you're gonna point it up so you can see what's up here and not everything that's down here because the view is so narrow. And it's much more interesting to see everything up here. So when I film, maybe on a GoPro, maybe I'll do a 4:3 aspect ratio. So that includes more of the top and the bottom and not on the sides, rather than a 16:9, which is what you normally see on YouTube. And I have more area to play around with. Okay. Got a motorcycle. Yeah, but enough of the technical aspects. What should we talk about today? Well, the thing I feel like I should talk about is how everything is going with creating these running videos, because that seems like the most pertinent. Oh, look, fall. Anyways. So I was left with the decision from my last run, 5.5 miles on Thursday morning, whether or not I should censor my swearing. And I came up with I shouldn't censor my swearing. I think that if I were a child and I were still in school, I would have censored my swearing. Because at that point in my life, I was still around people that I would consider my role models and that I emulate what they do. My teachers, my parents. And it's not to be swearing every single moment of the day or to, when you're in that public sphere, you're not going to be swearing up a storm. As an adult, however, as an adult of 25 years of age, someone, well, recently become an adult, someone who's renting out a place, living on their own independently, well, for the most part, there's a lot of benefits of keeping the family connection, living close to your family. Like one of them are, you can send packages over to your family and then you can pick up the packages over at your family because it's safer there. And your packages are guaranteed not to be taken. But as an adult, swearing should be a thing that is considered normal when the context is right for it. It would be irresponsible to just swear because of some non-good reason. But as long as you have a reason to do that, and it's not just for the hell of it, you can swear as an adult. And I believe that context does matter. So obviously, when you're around family, you're around people that you know aren't fans of swearing, then you're not going to do that. Because you want to respect others in your vicinity. But in the public, it's a different code. Local influences don't affect your public influences. In private, you gotta be more respectful. In public, you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as there's a good reason for it. All right, we are a little bit more than a mile into the run. We're 1.39 miles. Legs are feeling warmed up. And there's a lot more people out now. I've never run this road before, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get lost. Is that what I think it is? Is Brimmer Street. Yeah. Okay. Just because I am going to go over there and I am going to make sure I document this. Yeah. All right. Quickly. All right. And we're back. All right. All right, 1.5. Sorry, little birdies. Yeah, I really like this setup. Oh, more people. More people. I wish we could figure out how to educate everybody to wear their masks properly. I think that's a pretty small ask. We have the Armenian Middle Eastern Gourmet Cuisine bakery here. All right, I don't remember which road I took a left from. We'll figure it out. It's only one left. Yeah, so I've been historically bad at directions. At orienteering myself. When I studied abroad in Australia, that was a goddamn shit show. Dude. You'd get lost. I'd get Harry lost. It was like every single time when we were in the city, I was still fucking confused. And then when we were out for the night and trying to come back home, we had to take an Uber. All right, this must be it. Back to our host family at pretty sure it was 1 a.m. at night. We were completely lost. We're like, how do we get back? I'll let Harry explain what the story is at some other point. Australia was some fun times. Yeah, it definitely was. That was 5 years ago. A lot has changed in the past 5 years. When I went to Australia, I was a sophomore in college. In 2016, junior, 2017, senior. Graduated. That academic year of 2017 to 2018, I was in AmeriCorps. And then after AmeriCorps, I was doing part-time work in jobs of the past through 2019. And then in the start of 2019, that's when I took the responsibility of getting another job so I can actually pay and save. I'll pay for whatever it is in the future by saving up. And that I did. It was very good. As a lifeguard for a number of different places. Ultimately, after being, let's see, after putting in my 2-week notice for BU and then getting fired from the YMCA, that was 2018 going to 2019. Was that? No. That was 2019 going to 2020. Oh, there's a little bird that died. So sad. Anyways. Well, lifeguard certification started in the beginning of 2019. So next year, early 2021, that's when I have to have made my decision to recertify or continue up another path. I hope that I won't need to recertify because I found another position. And what I mean by position is at another field because lifeguarding isn't a thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. And we're back at the tree. Yay. So, popping off on social media would be the best IMO, in my opinion. And I've saved enough right now for rent and living, at least comfortably. For at least the next year. Like if I just sat down right now for a year and did absolutely nothing, I'd still be living at my current place in Belmont. But that's really not a good idea. Thinking long term. So I think that my current path is what I need to take as an adult. You go through with your passions and you do what it takes to get to that, because everybody's journey isn't all being supported at all times and not having to make your own decisions and search for the thing that you want to do, because nobody knows what you want to do. Personally. Unless you've known them for a long time and you talked about it with them, but everybody else has their own goal that they want to achieve as well. And they're setting out to do that because you're not getting that support anymore from school, from parents. You gotta do it themselves. So that's the mindset change that occurs either because you know it's coming, someone's told you their experiences, you've read it somewhere, like online, or know them as a friend, or through a personal connection, or you've been forced into it. I knew that my mom was forced into taking care of her siblings, her younger siblings, at a young age. I have to talk with my mom about that to get the full story again. It's been a long time since we've talked about that. But from what I remember, my mom, Amy, she worked on a farm, call it a plot of land in Chinese. She worked on a plot of land in China. Guangzhou. And pretty sure she had to like carry her siblings over to school. She had to cook for them, do all the household chores for them, feed them. I don't know that much about my dad, though. I know that he went to school, and I've seen his school photos when he was like in middle school. I don't think he went to high school. Probably explain more about my parents in the future, because I want to talk to them more about what they actually went through and how I see it, together, rather than talking about it from personal recollections. Because I think it's important to respect everybody and their experiences, and let them talk about what they went through rather than something that I remember from them telling me about. First-hand sources are better than second-hand source. I wish there was a freaking sidewalk on this side. But of course there's this huge thing right here. Yeah. So I think this was a pretty good run. Got this new mount set up. I don't have to hold my iPhone anymore. Nice. This might be my setup for my marathon. Because my iPhone has great battery for video recording. A GoPro only has about think it's like around like 2 hours of recording time. A marathon's gonna go from where I am and headed towards. It's gonna be around 4.5 hours. So recording that for the whole time span. I'll either have to bring a whole like 2 sets of, it's like 2 extra batteries plus the third in the GoPro that's recording, and do a swap out every time the battery runs low. Or I can have my iPhone right here, take a majority of the footage on the run, or like the full thing, and then not have to worry about fiddling around the settings. Achilles feels really good right now. Let's see how it is when I run 12 miles. That's my goal tomorrow, Sunday. Today's Saturday morning. Actually, I think it's gonna be fine, because I'm giving myself a good rest day after my long runs. And I've actually healed up from my strain, because running on a strain is worse than running on a recovered strain. I definitely can feel that. It's a lot easier to injure yourself when you're already injured. I'm thinking right now, if I'm gonna listen to music on the run, I have my iPhone recording, but no, I can always just bring my other iPhone, and I have some AirPods that I haven't even opened yet. I can connect to that, but I'll just figure that out some other time. All right, I think we're pretty much there. Yeah. All right, 3.07 miles, 33 minutes and 27 seconds. That's like an 11-minute pace, which is average. Great, love it. So I haven't gone down in conditioning. You know, it's a easy return back, and I feel much better in my left leg, so we can actually run and not feel pain, and we can actually progress. I think next time we should talk about the more like higher and intense effort running. Okay, we're back home.